Kids like Salmah teach me a lot. When you work with young people and you talk about current issues or you talk about history and they fundamentally believe that things can and should be better, it is very hopeful.
Miss Murr is absolutely one of the most influential people in my life. I think she was one of the first people to help me recognize that I was smart. Well, I was new to MPA in my sophomore year, and one of the first classes that I registered for was Miss Murr's debate class. And she sent an email to all of her debate and history students about this opportunity to study in Washington, D.C., and take this class on World War II for a semester and write a biography and eulogize a World War II soldier.
The goal of the program is to help students and teachers in the country understand that, I think the motto is freedom isn't free. And the way that the program tries to explore this idea is by having student-teacher pairs study a single soldier who died in the Normandy campaign and understand that these were people who were giving their lives so that we can live free and open and democratic lives today. A group of teachers actually picked Salmah to apply with me, and we were accepted. So we were one of 15 student-teacher pairs from across the country.
I remember being really surprised that I was selected, but also really excited to work with Miss Murr because in my first few months, she immediately had a really positive impact on me and made me feel like I belonged here. So December 2018, we started a semester-long class, and while we were enrolled in this course, each student chose a soldier from their hometown. I think we both felt like we had a huge responsibility, both to the family and to the Twin Cities community, to tell a story that was first accurate, but also honored the sacrifice and legacy of our soldier's life. PFC Larry Riley was a Minneapolis native. He was married young, and he later enlisted in the war. Our research relied on a lot of just like finding scraps on different internet archives and military journals, piecing all of these small fragments of our soldier's story together. PFC Riley's youngest son, Robert, is still in the Twin Cities. So I spoke to him on the phone, I think 2 times, to interview him and ask him about his father's life.
We're scraping for information. We're both researching in an area, military history, which we were not very familiar with. And so one of the things that I think was really special about this project is it immediately brought us to this very sort of equal playing field. And so Salmah and I would talk much more as colleagues than as teacher-student.
Making this soldier's story known was a responsibility because it revealed so much more about the experiences of other veterans and other soldiers who participated in the Normandy campaign. So we felt like we had a large responsibility, not just to the family, but also to do justice to this particular campaign and how it impacted the rest of the trajectory of the war.
So his son was very, very young when he died and did not know much about how our soldier died. And to look at a human being who didn't know anything and say, this is what we think your dad's last days were like, and we're so appreciative of those days, is kind of like the most powerful thing a historian in some ways can do.
Something that stuck with me from our interaction with Robert, PFC Riley's youngest son, he's like, we can't forget these stories because they're going to happen again, and then we won't recognize it when it does. And asking critical questions is central to preserving that history. This experience has just made me a much more confident speaker and critical person, and that's helped me a lot throughout college so far, and it's, I think, become one of my strengths. I mean, being an MPA really changed how I feel about myself and how I view my academic abilities. I think as a young woman and as a person of color, as the daughter of immigrants, you are the first teacher truly empowered me to take up space.
Teachers stereotypically are supposed to change students' lives, right? And I would tell you that you changed my life. You just are so remarkable. You were a very concrete reminder of why I teach and why it matters to me. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're the best.
You too.